page. I'm not going to use the whole of my face, but I've just used it for proportion. Okay, so I'll add in my neck. Get it about right. And then my shoulders. Now we're on to the next bit. I'm going to start to use this to make the right shape for my mask. Okay, I've got my blue crepe paper. Doesn't matter if I use the scruffy ends, but just to size it, it's going to be like that. And probably I'm going to need 2 pieces like that. What I'll do later is scrunch it so it's, oh, maybe I'll need 3. Yeah, I'll cut 3. Okay, so those are ready. Now what I want to do next is the superhero sign. Okay, and this is the bit that I was going to paint. So I need the rough size is going to be, this is the same piece of scrap paper. So it's going to be like that. Any bigger? No, smaller probably. Okay, and then I'll draw it on. Again, just looking at superhero sign and back down on my paper. This is what we talked about in class, wasn't it? Look up and look back down, look up, look back down. What you see with an artist is that's exactly what they're doing. So look up, look down. Do you reckon that's going to be about the right size? So it roughly covers her nose, just down to her mouth. So that's probably going to be about right, isn't it? Okay. Looking at what different collages I liked, I particularly like this. This is paper that's woven. Some of it is, and some of it isn't woven. So I thought I'd have a go. These newspapers are from lockdown time, so all of the newsprint, not that it will be very readable, but all of the newsprint will tell a story about what was happening during lockdown. I've also got, I'll bring those in, some nice photos that also goes in the paper. Okay, so what I do is I cut strips into the newspaper, but I leave a band at the top that's not cut. That way there's almost like a loom, so if you were weaving with wool or another material, then you've got a frame called a loom onto which your wool goes. So this acts like the frame. So I've cut even strips about 1 centimetre apart into there. And I've also got some other strips that I'll weave. So weaving is 1 under and 1 over. 1 under and 1 over. Under and 1 over. So can you see I've got 1 over the top, 1 underneath, 1 that goes over the top, 1 that's underneath, 1 over the top, 1 underneath, 1 that's over the top. The next strip would do the opposite. So if here the strip goes underneath, here it's going to go over the top of this one. It's a bit fiddly, but you can do it. Think of it as practice and dexterity. Okay, and then you push it up to meet it. It's supposed to be under. What you can do when you come to the end is pop a blob of glue underneath there and a blob of glue there to hold that in place. I'm happy with it. Have a go, even if you're not going to add it to your collage. Okay. I've got my two bits for the background. Get this other stuff out of the way. And I've got the page for my backdrop. Now I think it might be easier to keep the shoulders further forward if I just cut that. So I'm going to cut the section that knocks up my shoulders. And then with a bit of careful threading, one behind the other, I can lay that down behind. But before that, I want to put some glue on there so that that's stuck down. I'll deal with that bit in a minute. I might just sit all behind. Okay. Image. So if I'm going to place the face onto the backdrop, then I'll take it from under here where it's been stuck down. I'll put a bit of weight on top, so that's going to go there. And you can see on the original image that there's a bit of background above her head, but we've not allowed for enough newspaper there, so I think I'm going to just put it a tiny bit higher, make her black hair go to cover the rest, and then we'll leave that background bit. Okay, so what I'm going to do next is get ready a backdrop for her scrubs. Now I'm going to use the green glass that I've been collecting over the years on beach trips I've been on with my family. I've also got some green glass that my youngest son gave me in a sweet little pot that he'd decorated. Let's see how much I need. But because this is very, very white, I'm going to just do a little wash of green in the background so that the white doesn't come through. It doesn't need to be very precise. Whoop. Because it will be covered with the green glass anyway. Sea glass it's called, and it's lovely. And I chose to use the sea glass because it's been eroded over time by the waves and the sand and the rubbing along the sea floor, so it's almost like our nurses and our doctors who are worn down a little bit by all of these exhausting times for them. I'm ready to start sticking down my sea glass onto the bit that shows the nurse's scrubs. Now this is quite precious and I haven't decided what my final project with this is going to be, so I've decided I'm not going to stick them down, and that works well. If you haven't got glue at home, you don't have to stick down anything that you're using for your collage either. This is the stage of the process that's probably closest to Jane Perkins' style of mosaic. So we're using something 3D. So far it's all been 2D. We're using something 3D now. And what Jane said in the little video clip that I showed you in yesterday's lesson or the day before, lesson 2 or lesson 3, was that she turns and rotates things till she's pleased with the angle. So it might be that she wants to fill that gap. Now, most mosaic and collage has all of those gaps filled. So remember I said it didn't really matter what that was, what this looked like. It was just to get rid of it being quite so white. So I'm going to put some big ones next to some small ones and try to fill all of those gaps. This is the glass that my son gave me. It's decorative glass that's supposed to be used for paths and whatnot. It hasn't got any sharp edges, so it's quite safe to use. And it's darker than a lot of the sea glass that I've collected. Oops, that's not sea glass, it's a stone. Some of them are white, but altogether the impression is going to be green, which happens to be my favourite colour. So can you see I'm turning and filling the gaps? Now that, in maths terms and art, is called tessellating. So I'm using tessellation, or filling in the gaps. If you just scale that to there, that's a definition right there. So it's the process or art of tessellating a surface or the state of being tessellated, an arrangement of shapes closely fitted together, especially of polygons in a repeated pattern without gaps or overlapping. Okay, I'm going to keep going with that, and you can come back and see the finished photo in a moment. We're nearly at the end of the process now. What we've got to finish is the black of the nurse's hair and the black that makes up the shadow under her chin and across her shoulder. I wanted to talk to you about the artistic process, because as I've gone along with this, there's been some things that I've thought of and then changed my mind about. So come across and look at the picture. There you go. That was one of my ideas, was like Jane Perkins uses quite a lot of buttons. I wondered about using buttons for my eyes. However, it reminds me of Coraline and doesn't look anything other than spooky, so I'm going to take those off again. The other thing that I've been thinking over is maybe it seems a bit arrogant to use my own eyes for what is essentially a modern day hero image. But I don't know. I think what I wanted was to put myself in her shoes and think of what it would be like to be that kind of hero, to be working so hard right on the front line. So I left that idea. Anyway, I'm going to use Lego because of the colour and because there's plenty of it, and again, like Jane Perkins, she uses Lego or small toys in her collage. So I'll have a go with that and show you what the end result looks like.